Welcome to Go for Lunch, another exciting edition here. So today we're going to talk about my transition to T-Mobile. This is Go for Lunch number 98, and this is our spring edition. So spring is coming to the desert. It's officially spring, and the wildflowers should be coming in real soon now. So I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and if you're new here, please type new so we can get to know you and welcome you to our community. So here at Go for Technology, our mission is making your technology work for you. So the technology we're going to be talking about today is going to be cellular, but just a little reminder, as we promised in the Gopher Gazette, we're going to show you how to get those manuals that you are missing sometimes. So we're going to do that at the end of this presentation. So make sure and stay tuned for that. So on with the T-Mobile transition story. Well, I've been on AT&T since I had an iPhone, which has been many, many years. I was off briefly for a 3-month test of Mint Mobile, which also runs on the T-Mobile network, but we'll talk about that later maybe. Some of the things that we're going to talk about here would apply to any time you're changing carriers. So these are kind of general rules of how to get your ducks in a row before you change your cellular carrier. So one of the things that helped me with this decision to go to T-Mobile was the excellent performance I'm getting out of my T-Mobile home internet, which does operate on the T-Mobile cellular system. I've had it for about 3 weeks now, and it's been working great. Also, the fact that there's a convenient T-Mobile store right close to where I go 3 times a week. So if I need any help, I can go there. And it's a corporate store. So this is an important little caveat is when you're dealing with your cellular carrier, seek out the corporate stores. Now, when you go to a map on the carrier's website, it will say T-Mobile store as opposed to authorized retailer or some other phrase. So when it says just store, then that is the corporate store, and that's where you want to deal. I had an unfortunate situation when I was coming back to AT&T after testing Mint Mobile. I went to a authorized retailer, and they screwed things up. And I had to end up going to a corporate store to get it all straightened out. Another incentive was the 55 plus plan. A lot of us are senior citizens, and T-Mobile's got us a nice plan with a good discount. So that's another reason. So as I was researching this program, I found out that the PIN is something that I had to find. So in the process of disconnecting my internet from Cox, I found out that the PIN is cleverly hidden in plain sight on my Cox statement under the account number in the upper right-hand corner. So you'll need to get your PIN if you decide to change your internet provider, and if you decide to port your phone number from one carrier to another, you'll need a separate PIN for that. So have that all set and ready to go. You'll also need an unlocked phone in some cases. So if you're not trading in your phone, you're keeping your phone and moving to another carrier, then your phone needs to be unlocked. Bonus tip number 2. Do a side-by-side transfer between your iPhones. So simply what that means is you take your old iPhone and you take your new iPhone, you put them side by side. They sense that each other are in the proximity, and you take a picture of a little cloud kind of thing, and it does the process for you automatically. Now, in my case, since I have over 300 apps on my iPhone, it took a while to do the side-by-side, like, I mean, close to 3 hours. I actually went to lunch while they were transferring the data at the T-Mobile store. So, okay, so we seem to be having a little problem here. And looks like we're not, people are telling me that we're not on YouTube. But in fact, I got a notification in my email, which you can get too when you subscribe and click on the little bell, that I am live on YouTube. So I'm not sure what's going on here. But YouTube is always coming up with different things. So I'm going to send this to our producer and tell her to check your email. And 2 people left. The link in the email is wrong or empty. Oh my goodness. I guess the link didn't work. So let's do this. Let's go back to YouTube and let's get that link and copy link and go to our messages where all you nice people are telling me it's not working, and send them the link via text message, and see if we can't get the whole gang together here. And we will be more careful about that. So I don't know how that didn't get out there. So there we go. I've sent the link to everybody that I have seen a text from. And thank you for those texts, everybody. And here is somebody else. I am there trying to tell me there are 12 other to come here. Okay. So thank you, Bob. Bob is putting a message out on the YouTube. So we're going to watch and see how many people join us here. We only have 2 people watching at the moment. So let's see who's coming over. So Bob's here and says that there are 8 people waiting. So Doriana says he's here now and that the gang is all here. But it looks like only 3 people in the gang are here. So we will wait a few minutes. And while we're doing that, I'm going to reset my keynote presentation. And we're going to just start from the beginning. So glad that you guys alerted me on the text that there's an issue. So we got 5 people here now. So we have 7 more people that should be joining us here shortly. So please, we got 6 people. And we're going to wait a little bit and see what we can see. And again, I appreciate you for alerting me here. I try to keep my Apple Messages app open so I can see if there's any issues. And you helpful people, send me a text. And Susan, are you here? Can't tell yet. So let's see what happens here. Okay, we're almost 10 minutes in, so I think we will, let's see, I could go over on the other computer to YouTube, which I'm actually on right here, and go to YouTube. There's YouTube, and go to, so this is how you would, let's switch to camera 2 here. So what I'm going to do is type in on YouTube, search GoFor Technology, and you have to put a space after GoFor, N-O-L-O-G-Y, and return. And there we are. And we have a live stream there. And we have another live stream there. So we're going to go into this live stream and copy this link. I guess we have to go into it. Still have 6 people here, so we will go here and get a little message. Click up in the URL field and we'll copy. And then we will go back to this other page where it says live now. And it doesn't show me my comments. But that looks like, okay. So it looks like I can't comment. So if one of you, well, no, that's the one I'm on. Okay. Well, sorry for that. We've got lucky 7 here, so we're just going to take it from the top. So, welcome to our Go for Lunch number 98 about transitioning to T-Mobile. So, this is our spring edition. The desert will soon start to look like this because spring was 2 days ago, beginning thereof. Hi, I'm Roger Harmon with GoFor Technology, and what we like to do is make your technology work for you. So as promised in the GoFor Gazette, we will have at the end of this program a little tutorial on how to download manuals. So stay tuned to the end for that. So let's talk about the story behind my transition to T-Mobile. So I have been on AT&T since my first iPhone, which was many years ago. I switch iPhones about every 2 years. So what we're going to talk about does apply whether you're switching from T-Mobile or to T-Mobile or any carrier. Some of these little tricks will help you make that transition smoother. So one of the reasons I switched is because I went to T-Mobile Home Internet, which does use the T-Mobile cellular network, and it's been working very well. So I was pleased with that. There's also a T-Mobile corporate store right next to a place that I go 3 times a week. So that was another incentive. And let's talk about corporate stores. So when you are looking at a new carrier, you want to find their corporate store because the authorized reseller stores, which are agents and not corporate stores, sometimes are not as competent as the people in the corporate store. So I had when I left my 3-month test of Mint Mobile and came back to AT&T because of some incentives at that time, I did it at a authorized retailer and they screwed this whole order up. Had to go to a corporate store to get it straightened out. So skip the authorized resellers and go directly to a corporate store. Usually on their maps of their locations, it'll just say like Verizon or T-Mobile store instead of authorized reseller or some other verbiage like that. So another incentive was the 55 plus plan, which saves money for those of us that are more than 55 years of age. So in my research, I have been doing a lot of different things this week, and some of these don't relate directly to the T-Mobile cellular transition, but they're things that I wanted to pass along to you nonetheless. When I called Cox and told them I was quitting their internet, they said, well, you have to have a PIN. So I learned that the Cox PIN, maybe the Comcast is similar, is right on your statement. It's under the account number, which is up in the upper right-hand corner. Bonus note number 2. Do a side-by-side transfer from your old iPhone to your new iPhone. And that is a feature that Apple has built in the last couple of years. So you put them next to each other. You take a picture of one with the other one. It figures out everything, and you keep them next to each other. And that just transfers everything, your apps, your data, the whole 9 yards. So at the same time I was doing my iPhone, I was helping a client do another iPhone. And another tip is go to the new carrier store early in the day so you don't run out of time, because that's what happened with the other iPhone, was that we didn't get there for that one until about 6, and they closed at 8. And after they did all the paperwork, then we ran out of time. So I said, well, no problem. I've got a backup on the iMac running Mojave. So when we took that back to the iMac and tried to do restore, it did not work. We ended up having to wipe the whole phone and restore it, and it was a long process that would have been unnecessary had we done the side-by-side transfer. So get to the store early and do the side-by-side. Bonus tip number 3. When I went to Cox to cancel my internet, of course they transferred me to retention, and there I was offered a $55 a month for internet only for 2 years. Of course, we know that after 2 years that price would have gone up, so I declined that generous offer. The moral to that story, of course, is if you have Cox, and probably you could do the same thing with Comcast, call them up, tell them you're going to turn off your service, and see what retention has for you. So I was paying Cox almost $88 a month just for internet, and I was getting their preferred service, which is about 200 down and 10 megabits up. Recently, you may have gotten an email if you're a Cox customer that if you reset your modem, you get a 60% increase in your speed. I had already done that, and I did not get a 60% increase in my speed. So on T-Mobile, I'm averaging about 270 megabits per second down and between 20 and 30 megabits per second up. So the upload speed is important to me because that's what makes my YouTube lives work the best, is when I have a good upload speed of at least 10 megabits per second. Of course, the more upload speed, the better off everything is. This morning, however, I did a speed test on my T-Mobile home internet and got 347 megabits per second down and 55 up. So it is very, very good. Another thing that I liked about T-Mobile is they gave me an $800 trade-in for my iPhone 11 Pro Max. So my new iPhone only cost me about $200, a difference between the old phone and the new phone. So now I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So on my client that I was helping, they traded in an iPhone XR, which is 3 or 4 years old, and got a free iPhone 13. Also included when you become a T-Mobile customer, as long as you are a T-Mobile customer, you get Netflix. So that's a $14 a month bonus. Also, you get Apple TV Plus for a year, which is another $6 a month that you're saving. I had Apple TV Plus when I bought my iPhone 11, I believe is when I got it. And of course, it ran out after the first year, and I haven't had it since. But there's programs that I was interested in that I'd like to catch up with. So now I have a year to watch Ted Lasso and The Morning Show and the other shows that I enjoy on Apple TV. So that's another bonus. I was afraid that since I had a 1 year free trial that I wouldn't be eligible for this 1 year free trial, but I was. So that's great news. So I'm getting Apple TV Plus for free until March 29th of 2023. So another benefit with T-Mobile is they have T-Mobile Tuesdays. So let's switch to the iPhone and see what that's all about. So we're going to swipe down from the center to do the search, and I'd searched for this before, so there it is in the top left, T-Mobile Tuesdays with the magenta background. And we'll scroll back up here to the top. So this Tuesday, the bonus offers are you get a free large drink or slush with a purchase at Sonic Drive-Ins. You can buy a ticket to the motion picture The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and that other guy whose name I don't recall at the moment, Channing, for $4. You get a ticket, movie ticket for $4. That's the deal. You get a gift card for Dunkin' Donuts, so you can go in and get a cup of coffee with a $2 discount. Factor, which is a prepared meal service that I use, gives you 2 weeks of meals at 6 meals a week, so it's 12 meals at 50% off each meal. I imagine there's some other hoop you have to jump through there. Maybe you have to buy a total of 6 weeks of meals or something, but check that out if you're interested in prepared meals, which are very handy and time savers. And then we got 40% off on hotels, 40% off on car rentals, and you can see the hits keep coming, including 10 cents off per gallon on Shell gas. So that's certainly handy in these troubled times. So there you go. So that's just a sampling of the T-Mobile Tuesday perks. If you use your Apple Pay or your Apple Cash, your Apple credit card, in other words, to buy your equipment and pay for your service at T-Mobile, you get the same 3% daily cash back that you would if you were buying directly from Apple. So that is great. Also, they do have a referral program, which I would really like if you decide to go to T-Mobile, to let me send you my referral code. Another thing that I've noticed as I've been doing my research and spending a lot of time on the T-Mobile website, the website is much faster, much better laid out than the AT&T website. Seems like every time you switch to a different page on AT&T, they would put a little circle in the center, which is buffering. So it was not a great experience. So this is the referral program, and if you let me give you a referral code, I get a $50 credit. So that would help defray some of the costs of this broadcast. So bonus tip number 4. So when I got my new iPhone 13, I noticed that my apps were not downloading. So let's see what that looks like here on our iPhone. So I'm going to go to a place where the background is black so it shows up. So let's choose this one. So look at the bottom two rows. You can see there's Jackie Lawson, Mix Effect, Local Loop, and then the last row, Horizon, CVS, and Peak Visor. So you see to the left of the names of those apps is a little cloud with a down arrow, which means they have not downloaded yet. Well, this never happened to me before when I got a new iPhone, so I looked into that and found out that I have to go to Settings, and then I have to scroll down here to App Store. So you see App Store in the center. And then here in the second section it says Automatic Downloads, and you can see that apps are turned off. So I'm not going to turn it on right now, but as soon as we're done here I will turn it on, and then all those apps will automatically download. Now the second option here is Apps Updates. I'll probably keep that turned off because I want to kind of vet app updates to make sure they're not causing any problems, so I usually keep that turned off. And again, I would keep automatic downloads on cellular data turned off because I've had clients lately that have run over on their cellular data, so that's one way to keep from having that happen. Okay, so there's another little tip. When you get a new iPhone, make sure to turn on auto downloads in your App Store app settings. Bonus note number 5. As promised, we're going to learn how to download those free manuals that don't come in the box anymore. And you know, the reason they don't come in the box is many-fold. Number one, as soon as they are published, they're obsolete. So by using manuals in an electronic format or digital format, they can keep them up to date. Even after they publish them originally, they can update them again. So you get the up-to-date information. So you can find Apple device manuals and you can find Apple operating system manuals. And we will show you on the old iPhone here, actually it's the new iPhone, how to do that. So again, we're going to swipe from the center to get into search. And we're going to type a B for books. And we're going to type an O for books. And there's books. So you already have books on all of your devices because Apple includes that from the factory. So here we are in the bookstore in the Books app on the iPhone. It's going to look a little different, of course, on your Mac than it does here. So let's say we're switching to iOS 15.4. So we want to find the free Apple manual for 15.4. So as you can see here, I've been searching for those. So those are under recently searched. So I'm going to tap on the second one, iOS 15 user guide. So you can see here, when it says get, just like in the App Store, that means it's free. Here's a book by Susie Williams for iOS 14 and 15, and she will let you read that for $4. And then we have an iPad user guide, so that's free. But down in the 4th position, you can see that they've updated a iPhone user guide, and again a second one that's been updated. So that was what I was talking about. When you use these, they will update them even after they're originally published. So let's just go to this one that, well, we don't want to update because we don't want to wait for that. So I'm going to go into my library and I'm going to click on this one that says iPhone User Guide New. But you can see that that's not actually new, it's been updated. So it's for iOS 13, but we'll just go through it. So you can see at the bottom, it says 1 through 791. So that is a book that's 791 pages thick that you don't have to pay shipping for when you buy a new device. So you just scroll through this by swiping from right to left, turning the pages. If you want to search for something, let's say app downloads. Let's see what we get. I haven't tried this before. And download, there we go. Okay, here we go. So this looks like this tells us what we just explained about how you can control the use of your cellular data, how you can automatically download apps purchased on your other Apple devices. So that's how the books work. And if we go back here to our, you can see here's a, let's see, where's the iMac one? So here's a book on the iMac. So you see the 31%. That means that I've supposedly read 31%. Today when I first got into this, it said 22%. And I just jumped back to some pages further in the book and it changed it to 31%. So here's a new 24-inch M1 iMac. So they're talking about how to use the control center down here, notification center. And you can see I can just scroll through this and learn all sorts of stuff. So that is how you download your manual for your Apple devices and operating systems. So let's look at your questions and comments, and if you're typing some in, I'll give you a few seconds because of the delay, and remind you to please forward the GoFor Gazette, which comes out every Monday morning about 7 o'clock, sometimes 6 o'clock like this week, and that would help anybody you know that has an Apple device learn how to make their technology work for them. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that little bell, and then you would be getting a notification when we go live with the correct link. So sorry about that. We'll certainly be checking that out and find out what's going on. So we have Susan is here, and Phil and Phyllis are here. And Susan has a question: how do two links work? I'm not sure what you mean by two links, unless you're talking about the two different links to the YouTube video. And again, I'm not sure why that didn't work the way I intended it to. So are we talking about phones or home internet or both? Yes. The answer to that question is yes. So do we have to have T-Mobile on both our phone and our home internet? Not at all. I had T-Mobile for 3 weeks before I went to T-Mobile Cellular. The nice thing is that they're all in one place. So on my account, I have T-Mobile home internet and I have my cell phone. So one stop for all that. So I don't have to go to two different places to look at billing and manage my account. So that's a nice feature. So thank you for hanging in there with me and tracking me down. Again, we will figure that out next time to make sure that, we do check the link, so I'm not sure why that link didn't work. And we will double check it this next week. So hopefully you'll join us next week for Go for Lunch. Have a great week.